A lot of things.
Like, I use it for like rate stats.
How do I get to that? Player, the games, all teams, or I mean, teams, players.
Yeah,
no.
players, individual. I
And
mean,
then what
you can do both. I like individual because I like looking at the Corsi per 60 and the shots per 60, that stuff.
Where
and I just
game thing is done.
And
Penalties drawn.
I just like selecting defenseman because I click defenseman and then like Brandon Montour is like one of the top ones.
Kucherov has the most penalties drawn. Tom Wilson's third. What? Tom Wilson? Okay, let's just fucking do this shit.
He's in the league in goals per 60 because he is a fucking legend.
Can you lock the first cell in this thing? Or can I like download it so I can lock the first cell? Oh, that's so dumb.
Yes, you can. At the bottom of the page, you hit CSV, and you'll get an Excel file with everything.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, we don't have to worry about this today. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to start doing this. Wait, where? Oh, there it is. That would just make it easier. Like, I could lock the left cell, and then I could, like, actually see what the fuck's going on. You know, I'm going to do this shit. I don't give a shit. I'm not driving.
All right. Silence. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Skate Podcast. I am Matt Moody, joined by DJ Mitchell to cover the Thursday NHL DFS slate. DJ, how you doing?
Actually, you know, tonight's just a weird night. I didn't get as many lineups in as I may have wanted to, but I'm not that mad about it, being as Anaheim has 3 and St. Louis, I think, yep, they still have 0, which was not expected. I had some Boston, I had some Montreal, but all low-scoring games, so it's just a boring night overall. But how are you doing tonight?
Tonight I'm doing pretty well. I full faded St. Louis. I'm like, well, I love the Ducks. The Ducks are actually good. St. Louis is awesome. Like, everyone's going to be on St. Louis. I'm just going to, play some different guys to see how it goes. So I rolled the cheaper Colorado 1 stack, which is done okay. And then I played the Boston 1, which smashed with Corey Krug. So Rask and net. I missed the Jake Allen blow up. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good so far. Hoping that Colorado can get me a game winner in the third to really ice my winnings. But Tuesday, oh boy, Tuesday was not pretty. I really balled out in the $33 and just whiffed. Calgary just stole all my money.
Yeah, I barely played again because I've just been extremely busy, like I keep mentioning. And I know, like, you and Doug make fun of me because I'm like, I'm so busy. And you're like, oh, we have real things. And actually, Doug's probably more busy than me. That's why he's like MIA. But yeah, my biggest problem is I'm busy, like very, very busy from like 5 to 8. So when a lot of news is breaking, that changes a lot of my lineups and a lot of my tinkering, and like I can actually do some more research. I just can't get it done. So I just cannot jam in as many lineups. I mean, what if you didn't have between 5 and 7? Like, what would you do?
Well, we are going to find out on Thursday because I am working the Utah shift on Mountain Standard Time, still in Philly, but all my coworkers are in Utah. So working from 11 to 7 tomorrow will be an interesting sweat up until lock, trying to work and do lineups.
Yeah, so, I know. It's
any West Coasters out there, I'll feel you tomorrow.
I really, well, I mean, like, your problem is like you're having West Coast time, like, but you're on East Coast time, so like your hours are just not going to work the same. So that's just really just isn't good. But yeah, we don't have to get into the logistics of that. Basically, what I'm trying to say is like I just wish it was winter break now, and I can like just jam in lineups, and like at 5 o'clock I can like just crack my knuckles and get to work. But we're gonna get there, and like I'm just not getting in. Yeah, I'm just not getting in a lot of volume, and it's kind of like sometimes I've done okay with throwing out just a few GPPs and a couple head-to-heads or whatever, but it's not as fun. There's not as much of a rush, and I don't know, the stakes just aren't that high. And I'm like, however, I lost $9 on Tuesday, I think. I'm like, ooh, whoops, I didn't. Like Calgary didn't do well. Well, okay, like it's not a big deal. I guess I'll move on to the next night. But I'm not going to jam in like $80 worth of lineups when I can't check last minute changes. I mean, what if I had Zibanejad and all of that, man? I can barely check. I mean,
you feel like
sorry,
you're
go
just
on.
wasting time. You know, you feel like you're wasting time when you do all this research, do a pod or whatever, and then you only get off $10 an action. It's like what?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know. It's why it's like I'm just almost in like a rut of like not that I don't want to play because I still enjoy playing a lot, but it's not the same type of enjoyment because I'm just not getting the same.
For sure.
And yeah, I'm investing time, but like my time investing isn't the optimal time to invest. It would be like taking a taxi and hitting no one and then like giving the taxi up to someone else and then getting all the people and making all the money. It's like, oh no, like I'm not getting the right times. Like, yeah, well, we've talked way too long about this, but I mean, just the last note was Tuesday, literally right before lineups locked. I was going to make some more in class, and my professor's like, okay, close your laptop. We have a presentation that I totally forgot that was going to, like, it wasn't my presentation, it was someone else. I'm like, that's not good. Like, I don't even, like, what if I had like 8 lineups still to make? It just, I can't have that risk. I want to put that money on the line. So I can stop.
You would be like Jimmy in the
oh yeah,
the group meeting.
Oh yeah, I mean, but at least he won $10,000 on, I think it was
all of his. Yeah, he did.
I mean, yeah, he just
never
like whoops.
Any lineups off and smashes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like he just put so much time and effort into some lineups that he'll just rake in all the money. That it's like whatever. It's like I don't know, but yeah, we'll give him the shout out because I know he's like I didn't get the shout out for taking down the $8 10K GPP, and I'm like, yeah, we probably should have thrown that out there. Yeah, shout out to him, and really, I feel like a lot of people are smashing in our group me. Shameless plug, but we should probably get into this pod because I was like, yeah, we'll probably get this one off in 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and like just give all the good info. But I feel like we have more info in front of us tonight. We're gonna have the sim in front of us now when we record, which always helps. But let's get right into it. You want to rattle off the games?
Yeah, we have a 7-game slate ahead of us. Leading off is LA at Washington, Montreal on a back-to-back at Detroit, Vancouver at Nashville, Vegas at Minnesota, Dallas at Chicago, Arizona at Calgary, and Toronto at Edmonton. So it's not much smaller, but 7 games is a good bit smaller than the 10, 11 game monstrosities we've been dealing with on Tuesdays and Thursdays recently. Well, actually, I guess last week it was more Monday and Wednesday because of Thanksgiving. But yeah, I'm personally a big fan of these slates where they're just big enough to where I think there's a lot of options, but not so big where it feels like you're fading 17 good plays just to make one lineup. So definitely looking forward to this slate. Let's start with LA at Washington. LA hitting the road. Really, it's weird to kind of, we talked about it a little bit on Tuesday. Like, LA's not really done much, like, as a team lately. Washington's been struggling, though, and LA did go into Detroit. Kopitar and Brown really combined for 2 huge games out of those 2. So do you have any interest in the LA side or maybe picking on them with someone like Ovi? What are your thoughts here?
All right, so I just my initial note on this slate, because I was kind of just rolling through everything. I had a little bit of time before the pod, and I was really surprised by LA's defense, how they've been running it. I mean, they've been giving very even minutes. Doughty only had 23, Martinez 22, Muzzin 21, but the name a guy that got 20 minutes was Fantenberg. And I was like, I remember at the beginning of the year, we're like, this guy's on power play too, getting 8 to 12 minutes, but like he has gone way up to 20. And hold on, I was just doing quick math. He's 15, I think, shots taken in his last 4 games, right? The 10-day is just shots, right?
Yes, it's shot attempts. Yep.
15 shot attempts in his last 4 games, which isn't terrible, and he's getting 15 minutes. I think that shot rate would put him, I think he was tied with Stamkos over the past 4 games. I mean, I know it's extremely small sample size, and on the whole year, his Corsi is like not good, but just over the last few games, obviously he's getting a huge bump in minutes, which is just going to help his overall like everything, and he's 3K. Still getting power play 2 time. That power play features Kempe, Pearson, Toffoli, and Martinez. So he's not with slouches. And I mean, Washington has definitely been exposed this year by, many teams, including Colorado. So I don't mind him as a cheap option on defense if that's like something you need to fill in your lineup at 3K. He's definitely an option. 6 shots on goal last game, with an assist. I know, like, I'm not going to take one game out of context, but like I'm saying, he's getting a bump in minutes that over the past 3 games, he's averaging at least 17. So that's one cheap option that I think comes in play. And because I just feel like overall in this game is a lot of boringness as far as like, oh, it's the same lineups. I mean, LA changed up a little bit last game, but that's just kind of the one note of like major change. But I do think that Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, is like they're always in play. But I'll let you take it from here.
All right, you were cutting out just a little bit. It might be on my end, so I apologize if all of your takes did not come across.
If they didn't, then I'll just get all the good takes and no one else will, so it's fine.
Yeah, like I think that's a really good point you brought up, though. Like, we knew a guy like Sandberg was playing power play 2, but we also knew his minutes were low. We have to adjust now to the fact that 2 of the last 3 games he's gotten like 19 minutes of time on ice. Like that's really good for 3K. Definitely not a terrible punt. For me, I'm still always interested in Alex Ovechkin. When he's priced where he is, I mean, not even 8,000, he simply has more upside than any player in the NHL. Just last time out, he put up a hat trick on Toronto. But, I mean, the game before that, he had a goal and 9 shots against Tampa. Like, Tampa is certainly a very strong team. And, even though LA's a tough matchup, I just think that the price here for a guy who's historically been, like, the top DFS player in all of sports, well, maybe not all of sports because, there are other sports out there, but certainly in all of NHL, like, Ovi is just an awesome play. I think if you can fit him, you will never go wrong playing Alex Ovechkin. And he is certainly in his Ovi, state of mind, just ripping the puck on net, scoring goals, doing OV things. So, alongside of that, I mean, I mentioned John Carlson a lot. He's up above that magical 6K barrier, so I don't think he's as strong a play as I would have liked. But a name that I've been really harping on, like in my own lineups all year, kind of hemming and hawing, is Dmitry Orlov. 3,300. I mean, he is getting so many minutes. The points haven't quite come from this year, but if you look at, like his track record, he's been a very strong point producer, at least for like a, middle pairing defenseman. And 3,300, I don't think is fair. Like for a guy like him playing the minutes he does with the established floor that he has and power play time.
I think Orlov's a strong. Oh, sorry, were you not done?
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, Orlov's an extremely strong player. I remember last time I brought him up, and your concern, and I think everyone's concern was, well, how will Niskanen return affect him? And it hasn't, I would say, changed much at all. Other than I think that unit's kind of taking over as the top 5-on-5 unit for them. They've been playing together, which is interesting, and like that is, I'd say, far and away their best 5-on-5 unit, which I think is cut into Carlson a bit. That's why I don't think I like him as much at this price. And they both also pair on the power play. So, I mean, it's not like I don't think an option to stack them together at all, but it is interesting to see like how dominant they've been 5-on-5. I mean, last game they were on the ice for 2 goals and they didn't get even a point. So they have been helping to produce offense without getting maybe the tallies on the score sheet, and that definitely could turn in their favor tomorrow against LA.
Yeah, certainly. You made a good point about the Carlson, Niskanen, Orlov sort of parallel. So that is another reason that I'm not really in love with Carlson at his price.
I mean,
anything else here you want to discuss?
I guess I just have one narrative that I'm probably not going to play, but I'll mention is that Adrian Kempe, he was paired up with Gaborik, and he mentioned that was his like childhood favorite player. Whereas he's only like 21, so it's not that surprising. And he did score in last game. So, I mean, he is like a very big GPP risk, but I guess he's like thrilled to be playing with Gabrick, and he did like his shot numbers definitely went up last game. It seemed like he was shooting the puck a lot more. So maybe on that line he might be kind of like more of a shot producer when Pearson and Toffoli were taking away from him. And that's just something to keep an eye on more than it's like one game is just not big of a sample size for me to make any sort of like clear, concise thought on that. But we can move on to Montreal, Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly not the worst take in the world, given that he's playing a decent role.
Yeah.
Montreal at Detroit. Let me just quickly make sure that nothing drastically changed for Montreal on Wednesday night.
Yeah, you check.
Played. All right, so I guess you can probably assume that Shea Weber will be out on Thursday as well as Wednesday, but that's obviously not written in. Okay, actually, it is written in stone. He will not play Thursday. So, with Weber out, their power play one was Hudon, Pacioretty, Deneau, and Gallagher. Obviously, that might be their power play two, like nominally, but they played most of the minutes. And I think that any unit with Max Pacioretty on it is going to be the top unit. So that's really interesting because, I mean, there's at least 4 value guys right there. And I would argue that Max Pacioretty at his price is also a value at only 6,300. So I really dig all of the guys on that unit. Hudon played a decent 5-on-5 role as well. So I know you mentioned Hudon a lot. Like, what do you like about Hudon? Do you think he's in play on this slate against the Detroit team, who we know is pretty susceptible to giving up goals and just not being good at hockey?
I mean, Hudon's really like just kind of the ultimate GPV flyer if you have the price, because he always has like his shots definitely. I wouldn't say slate breaking would be the right term, but it's more like he can definitely get you a goal from pretty much anywhere, and he loves to shoot the puck. But I mean, I'm not gonna like call him a strong play with like Montreal being on a back-to-back. But they'll probably. I mean, do you think maybe there's anything to a team being on a back-to-back and maybe spreading the minutes more though, and getting that third line more time? I mean, the thing I never got is he's played with Plekanec, right? And Plekanec got a huge bump in minute last game. I'm trying to look really quick. Did Plekanec get Plekanec? Oh my god, my phone just froze. He still got 19 minutes, Plekanec, and Hudon only got 13. And like Hudon plays power play and Plekanec didn't, correct?
Yeah, that is.
How is that working? That's so weird that he got 6 less minutes though. Like, is Hudon just really? Maybe he's just really nice and just wants to get everyone ice time. That's it.
So, well, I mean, not watching every single shift, my assumption is they might do something with Plekanec like Buffalo does with Ryan O'Reilly. And if it's a big defensive zone draw, like after a whistle or something,
okay,
face off and clear the puck, and then he'll get off the ice, and whoever will come on the ice. But I wouldn't read, given Hudon is so cheap and has such a strong shot floor.
Yeah.
That I don't think the 15 to 20 minute difference is going to be enough to like GP.
Yeah, I think with oh, sorry, you there?
Yeah, I mean, so Hudon has such a good shot floor. He's kind of like that Timo Meier-esque type, where like you can't really rely on him, but he's also one of your best bets. And if he scores a goal, he's going to smash. So you're just kind of playing the percentages there and hoping that 1.5 to 2 DK points will get you to the finish line.
Yeah, with him, if he scores a goal, like you can also expect 3 or 4 more shots on top of that. Where it's not like a guy that you're thinking like you're praying he scores because he only gets a couple shots on net. Like he'll probably end up with 4 shots and a goal, which is like absolutely obliterating value. So that's why, like in GPPs, if you're at that price, he's normally a guy that I will throw in, and I don't mind it against Detroit. But is there anyone else from this game? I mean, there's a lot of guys on Montreal that feel like decent plays, but besides Pacioretty, is there any that? I mean, like Gallagher, Galchenyuk, maybe to a lesser extent Deneau, even though he scored tonight.
Yeah, I am not on Detroit. You are really cutting out. Are you like hearing me? pretty well?
No,
Or,
you're cutting out a little bit too.
uh,
I think it's on your end personally. I'm not trying to be like rude. I just think it is. Like I think I'm gonna come through fine.
okay.
You want me to try to plug in my laptop? Because I don't think anyone's using the Wi-Fi. I can do that quick. You talk.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, I
Okay.
will talk just a little bit about David Schlemko. I mentioned him. He only played 16 minutes on Wednesday night. However, he's a guy who, I think they were planning on having him in, except he got hurt to begin the season. So that really, I think that really kind of 3,000 again. We mentioned a guy like Vattenberg before. I think that's just another name to keep in mind. And yeah, this Detroit side, another thing we mentioned on Tuesday night, but Detroit simply doesn't really have the high end talent that you would expect. If you're really digging for someone like Gus Nyquist might be a decent play, given that he's averaging about 20 minutes over his last 5 games or so, with a decent number of shots. But that's nothing that I would strongly recommend. So while DJ finishes,
No, I'm back.
anything else for Montreal, Detroit?
No, honestly, overall, I'd say this game is not in my top 3 or 4 favorite games. It's probably on the lower end, anyways. So I can move on.
All right. Let's see. Carey Price started on Wednesday night, so do not expect him in the lineup. This will probably be what they have Niemi now. Yeah, they have Niemi. So
Niemi was backing up tonight.
Yeah, that's an interesting little reason to stack Detroit. Even then, I don't personally target teams based on goalies, so I will not make an exception tonight where I think that Montreal is a much better team than Detroit. So let's go to Vancouver at Nashville. DJ, you tried to talk me into Philip Forsberg on Tuesday, and I did not listen. You went out there, did Forsberg things, scored a goal on his first shot, racked up 5.5 DK points. Pretty strong night from him. Another very good matchup at home for Philip Forsberg. I'll ask you again, 7,000. Are you comfortable with this price? Because I'm still a little bit unsure.
Yeah. Am I comfortable with? I'm okay with him being at this price, but it does feel high. When what was Ovechkin again? He's 800 more, I guess. But like it just feels like you're getting up in that range where like you need a guy that. I mean, the thing is, Forsberg obviously could boom for you. Like he is a guy that like has the potential and the shot to get you a hat trick on any night. But I mean, Patrick Kane's only 500 more, and Pacioretty's a whole 1,000. 700 less, and like he has way better floor numbers. So I think it's more of a GPP only type of play. I don't think he's nearly as cash viable. He just does not have the consistent floor that there's a floor, but it's not nearly good enough for me to like consider him a cash option tomorrow. And I think Vancouver, like these are both teams that have 1 day rest. I mean, the pace won't be extremely high. Yeah, I think I made my point there.
Yeah, an interesting way to get exposure to a guy like Forsberg and this electric first line of Johansson, Arvidsson, Forsberg is through Craig Smith. As last game, Craig Smith played on the first power play.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I'm glad you got to it.
Interestingly, it was Johansson, Forsberg, Arvidsson, Craig Smith, and then PK Subban. Not even Roman Josi on the top power play unit. Of course, Roman Josi went out with the second unit and scored a goal. So, we'll see what comes of that because typically Josi's been a fixture on the PP1. But, I think that's the reason that Josi at 6.8 might not be the greatest play, especially given we always have options in the 5K range that they just seem awesome. And obviously PK Subban at 5.3, I think he's a much better play playing similar minutes to Roman Josi at 6.8, especially if he's going to be power play over 1.
Yeah, so, I don't hate PK Subban Smith. That's like a really, really cheap way to get Nashville exposure. And I think they roll Vancouver. I don't know if it'll be more than like 3-4-0, but I'm really considering starting whatever goalie. Hopefully, usually Saros is in net because I was just kind of would fit the narrative of where they're going right now. Get him back on track as a backup, and I think he'll probably start tomorrow. I have nothing to base it off of other than my own head, and I think it'd be really nice to get a couple Nashville guys in because they should definitely dominate the possession against Vancouver with their top two lines and all of their defensemen.
And no, I don't really have any interest in any of these forwards, but again, on defense, Alex Edler continues to put up huge daily fantasy numbers without point production. He's one of those guys, he's 4.3 now. His last 10 games, he's averaging over 5 shots plus blocks per game. I mean, he's at 55, or 54, excuse me, over those 10 games. Like, he is simply, he's everything you want out of a elite fantasy defenseman for a very cheap price. So I have no problem playing him, even if you're playing some Nashville guys, just hoping that, he racks up the block shots, chips in some shots on goal, and you can get, 3 to 4 fantasy points for rather cheap without having to sweat, scoring on the. And obviously, Edler does play on their first power play unit and is one of, he's a pretty decent offensive player. He's nothing special. But I just think this price is a really, really, really good price on someone who's been very productive. So
yeah, no, I like that first power play unit right now. Not in this matchup as much for Vancouver though. Like the Sedins with Horvat and Bessier and Edler, because I think that really opens up Bessier and Horvat to fire the puck at will, with the Sedins kind of like trying to be the old school Sedins. So maybe not tomorrow because I kind of doubt Nashville gets into penalty trouble against Vancouver. But
and the Sedins will always have that gravity to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right.
It's the puck, and it's just kind of like Joe Thornton. You gravitate towards him, and he finds the lane. I don't hate it. I just think that the time to play them is past, given that they're, that's 5,000. Besser is 5,500. Like, I'm just not a big fan of those prices.
Yeah, teams are keying in on that line now. I think as before they weren't keying in on it as much. Now it's like they're prepping to face Horvat Besser, and they're just not talented enough yet, I think, to hang with top line. So yeah, they're not like, I'm not saying they're a play tomorrow. I'm just saying like keep an eye on their first power play, especially when you're considering Vancouver as like a really contrarian play. But we can move on to the next game. I have nothing left.
All right, so Minnesota at Vegas. The big note here is Jared Burton will remain out for Minnesota. Last game, I mean, just mind-blowingly, I think, Jonas Brodin, a lefty, joined Ryan Suter, also a lefty, on the top unit. And even more surprisingly, on the power play one, Jonas Brodin is 3,000 again on DraftKings. So there's the third 3K defender that we mentioned that I do not hate playing.
But he has really no shot volume. Like, I mean, come on. Like, I don't know.
That's the problem. He's just not a really fantasy relevant sort of profile, but playing 25 minutes on the top power play versus Vegas.
Like, it's considerable. It's there, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have it tomorrow because I do think Vattenberg is just a better DFS player, in my opinion. But I don't hate it, I guess. I just don't think he's going to shoot the puck. Like, he's just not a guy that shoots the puck. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't want to.
Yeah, my top option on the Minnesota side is Mikael Granlund. He remains at 5,000. I wrote on Monday on Fantasy Labs that Granlund, to second half of last year, was a $6,100 player, like on average.
Yeah.
Beginning of the season, he was at 6,000. And this season, he's not been bad. I mean, he's averaging over 3 fantasy points per game. Decent number of points, 15 points in 90 games now. And the shot volume's been decent as well, a little bit over 2. And he's fallen down to 5,300. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. His role is still there. He's going to be relied upon in close games to, that a game winner to steal an empty net or whatever. I just think the upside is really high with a guy like Granlund, and that he's just a good enough hockey player that 5,300, that his projection is much better than the price. So he's not like a cash lock for me. One of those volume shooters that I tend to gravitate towards. But he's just in general just a really good player with a really strong role on a team that I really like, Vegas. So, your thoughts on Minnesota and how this certain injury affects them?
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm gonna try to get my exposure through Granlund as well, and possibly some Nino action and Zucker, like those three. Um, there's a chance I could go Granlund and Koivu. I wouldn't hate that stack at all. And then like Koivu's come down a bit in the past couple of games, but I think there's a chance for him to bounce back. Like the thing about Vegas is a lot of the people thought that this expansion team would kind of play a slower pace. I mean, they have like defensemen that I wouldn't think would push the pace at all besides Theodore, but they've definitely been pushing the pace. So I think Minnesota, like they can have a chance here to really explode at home against Vegas. I think they're the second highest rested team on the slate. So I don't mind getting exposure to multiple lines in Minnesota at all. And I'm interested to see what their second unit might be on the power play because what's listed on HockeyViz just cannot be correct. I mean, are you seeing that?
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. I think.
Yeah, that's just not right. So I don't know what their second unit even is. But the last note would be Kyle Quincy was waived today. So I don't know what that means. They must have called someone up. And Zach Parise practiced but is not going to play tomorrow.
Yeah, so they called up Ryan Murphy from the AHL.
He played last game, though.
Yeah, that was last game, and I think they still have Mike Riley.
Oh, that must be it. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if maybe they made a paper move to send Riley down last game or something. But
yeah, that could be. Yeah, but I don't know if there's any of these. Are there any of these cheap Minnesota guys?
Talk about Jay Theodore for a second.
Oh no, you're allowed to. Hello.
Yeah, I'm plugging in Ethernet to try and get your.
Oh, you wanted me to talk? Oh,
how he's to go.
I mean, like I don't know his birthday, but on that day, the clouds opened, the sun came out. Shea Theodore was born, and he is one of our favorite DFS players. I wouldn't say he's on Montour's level, but the things that he does, he's just one of those builds that you just like. You watch him play, and you can just see how he can become such a great DFS player. I'm trying to pull up some numbers right now because I wasn't ready for Matt to do this, but what has he been doing lately? Shea Theodore. Oh, that's Matthew Barzell. Matt, are you back? There he is. He has about 25-ish shot attempts in his last 5 games. So that's a number you're gonna want to hear. Matt, you're making a ton of noise.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was plugging in the Ethernet, and there's no easy way to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to talk about Shea Theodore, but you kind of didn't set me up as well because I didn't have anything pulled up. But yeah, like over 25 shot attempts in his past 5 games was the main note. Did you hear all the stuff I was saying? Because it was pretty funny.
No, I did not. But I'm assuming you said how much we love Shea Theodore and how much we wish that he would play 35 minutes a night.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so I think we're good.
I was saying that when he was born, the clouds opened and all that, everything basically. But is he on Montour level of love? Is he in that realm? Oh, okay, never mind. Let's keep talking. I'm trying to. I guess Matt's gone. I don't want to talk about Theodore anymore, so I'm going to move on to someone else. I kind of want to move on to the next game. That's what I want to do.
Man. Yeah, we can certainly do that.
Okay. I was kind of totally out of this game, and then you're like, talk about Theodore for 3 minutes. I'm like, there's not that much to say. He's only played 9 games.
It's just frustrating because I'm literally right next to my router, and
okay, I'll move on to the next game. Is there anything else you wanted to say about Vegas and Minnesota before you do all this again? Because I could move on to the next game and talk about some stuff. I don't know.
One more guy. I mean. The guy who won the 33 on DraftKings on Tuesday, Eric Holla didn't even have a good game. The guy who won played him, which was kind of funny because he just had a bunch of random one-off plays and ended up winning, $25,000. But Eric Holla at $4,100 is playing on the first power play unit alongside of Shea Theodore. So while like Marchessault and James Neal are super duper expensive, like Hall has good exposure to that power play unit. I have no interest in stacking against Minnesota because I think we all know how much I think I respect Minnesota at this point. But that said, Hall of 4,100 is pretty good exposure to the top 6 and the power play 1. Very good price.
And they're both playing with Leipzig, which is surprising.
Revenge. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Hala was a Minnesota Wild. Was he a Wild? Is that what you say?
No.
A Wild?
Oh, Hala was a Wild prospect.
Yeah. And no, he played for the Wild last year.
Oh, and the narrative is like every time Vegas plays on their team, they score against that old team because like that's the narrative. So
right
or die.
Yeah. So
I don't think I made that up. Next game, please.
Yeah, Dallas. All right. Dallas at Chicago. Radek Faksa, the old hat trick on Tuesday. No Sagan, no Ben, no nothing, just Radek Faksa. So good for him. Are you looking towards one of these lines? I mean, obviously there's 8 lines in this game. Do you have a favorite here? Were you thinking about any targets from here?
Yeah, I mean, I think I am going to look into Kane and Schmaltz a bit, maybe Anisimov as well. His price has kind of come up, and his shots have been super sporadic since being with Kane. Like he had that one he had the one game against Anaheim where he really blew up, and then the first game with Kane he also had was it the hat trick game? But he's just kind of been a super random GPP type of player that I like. I think that Patrick Kane down at 7.5 is always a good play. Like he might not have Ovechkin level slate breaking upside, but he has extremely there's a great floor on him and he can pretty much score from anywhere and break a slate. But I just love that line. Is there anything else? I feel like I had another note. Kane. Oh yeah, Kane and Anisimov and Schultz and Saad and Franzen are all one power play, so they've really split into 2 units. So it's I guess they kind of always had that, right?
That's been a thing for a few games, but they've definitely been tinkering it with it as the season's gone along. So
I guess the big note from that is that you have Kane and Anisimov Schmaltz all on one unit, and then you have Taves, not with either of his partners on the other, which is interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I'm
leaning the Kane line tomorrow, though. I think that
I'm never at home. I'm never a Taves guy. Like he's a good player, but like I don't know, it's not really my cup of tea. I'm more interested in the Sagan line here. Sagan is playing alongside Mattias Janmark, Jason Spezza. Janmark is someone who I really enjoy watching. Obviously, Tyler Sagan is incredible, so it's pretty much a shoo-in. But Jason Spezza is, I don't know if he's back, if he's alive, but he seems to be a decent player again. And given that his price is so low and that he's picking up some power play time, as long as he's playing alongside Sagan, I don't hate stacking him. But Tyler Sagan is always a fine one-off play, especially at center, just because there's not a whole lot of top-tier center options that I love. So, I think Sagan's my top play from this game personally.
And you know what else happened in the last game for Dallas?
What else happened, DJ?
Did Julius Honka get power play time?
And he did, and he played 15 minutes. So.
Honka, he's the guy that you really want to see get more minutes because he could be absolutely the most fun player ever to watch. If the game goes to 3-on-3 and you don't turn it on to watch Honka play 3-on-3 hockey, he's extremely gifted.
Oh boy.
I think with the way the NHL's going,
find that tweet again.
Yeah, you find the clip. The way the NHL's going, I think Honka's going to end up definitely becoming a really dominant defenseman. He's got to be only 21 or maybe even 20. So I mean,
He's actually a bit older. I think he's 22 now. Like, it's kind of frustrating that he's kind of stagnated. But
what I mean, I don't know. I'm not like as DF. I'm not DFS. I'm not like as hockey analytics as everyone else in the world. Like, I do try to. I get into it a good amount, but I feel like he has never really comes up in the analytics community. Like, I never hear the name. I mean, I hear, oh, he's 21. Oh, he turns 22 on December 3rd. So make sure you wish him a happy birthday. I just think it's a size thing. He's 5'11", but he has so much skill. You find that clip. I just think that like he is at play at 2'9". We've mentioned a lot of cheap defensemen on this podcast, but the hope is that he gets more minutes, gets a little bit of correlation maybe with that Sagan line, because I do like it a good amount. Is there anyone else? I think pretty much covered this game too.
We can definitely move on, I think.
Yeah. Well, how would you rate this game on a scale of like, there's 7 games. Like, where would you put it in at 7 as far as like stackability, upside, pace?
I mean, there's a lot of guys
if you look at the
expected goals over the last 10 games, these teams are number 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that I'm overly ambitious like on attacking. That said, I don't really see myself game stacking at all here. So, you know, in terms of game stack, I think this would be the game. Like, if I woke up tomorrow and someone was like, "Hey, you have to pick a game that you think goes off or whatever," I think it would be this one. But you know, it's definitely the Dallas side for me. If I had to pick one.
I just think it's entirely possible to get Sagan and Kane into a lineup tomorrow. You're not going to go Ovechkin or Forsberg, but you could definitely get some Minnesota guys at a very fair price to make that work. And I think that if you check my GPP lineup, there'll be something of that nature tomorrow. So we can move on now. So what?
Yeah. No,
is what I said wrong? You're just still watching Honka.
No. I was watching Honka.
Oh, okay. I was like, you made a weird noise there. Is that like that's your Honka watching noise? I was like, I don't think I said anything wrong. I mean, you can do it. You can do anything you want. You could put Gaudreau, Ovechkin, and Forsberg in a lineup, and then use Fantenberg. what was the other? Brodin and Honka, and then like make it work. I don't know. I'm not your mom. I'm not going to stop you. But we can go to Arizona, Calgary now.
Yeah. So, DJ, remember when we were like, Oliver Ekman-Larsson for Norris? I think we should get back on that train.
I never left it. I just I'm more on it now than I was when I first said it.
Really derailed to start the season, just as the entire Coyote season did. But I mean, gracious me, he's crushing floor stats. He's like scoring goals at will now, like playing a ton of minutes. Like, he is awesome. He's back. At Calgary, whatever. Like, I just want to talk about Ekman-Larsson. And don't look now, but maybe Arizona is like not entirely a pushover. They're still not winning a ton of games, but I think that they're giving minutes to the right guys, and they're putting up floor numbers that, in general, I think that you can get away with stacking a team like Arizona, especially on not a huge slate like we have here. Eric Stepan, a guy I've talked about before as well. He's good, plays a ton of minutes, and is very cheap at 4.6. And him, Ekman-Larsson, just kind of the guys that I've talked about regularly lately. Brendan Perlini, I think those are the 3 I would stack personally. But I just really think that Arizona is going to be not a good team, but they're going to be a decent team down the stretch here, and that people have kind of already written them off.
I mean, I'm not considering them a playoff team, but I think at full health they'll be an exciting team. They're about to get back Chuchrin, who is definitely a DFS defenseman to keep an eye on, especially if he's getting good minutes. Is there any? I think that's pretty much it for who they're getting back. But I just think it's they could be an exciting team. I totally agree with that.
Yes. Speaking of written off, are you going back to the Gaudreau Monahan Wild Beach?
I think I might, honestly. I mean, I feel like you never want to do the thing where you get burned once from something that actually has very good upside and is a good unit together and just completely dismiss it. They played a ton of minutes. They get a ton of good power play exposure time. I don't know. I mean, do you think it was the Kadri effect? I mean, they just didn't get the puck on net. Like that's
I don't know what to think here, but Sim has these two as the top overall plays on the slate in terms of
yeah.
pickle score.
With Giordano being your third guy to pair with them.
So
it's a stack worth taking, I'd say for sure. I mean, they could absolutely blow up. I mean, Arizona. I know you just kind of said that they're not bad, they're pretty good, but they currently are giving Goligoski like 26 minutes, and he's really not that good. So it's like they're not good. I mean, like OEL is like, oh my god, if we do that again, OEL is like a god. I think he's a top 10 defenseman in the NHL. I've kind of always been on that side, and I know Dmitry Filipovich agreed with me on the PDO cast. I'm sure he listens, so shout out to him.
I should agree with him.
I've been OEL fan the day I die. I've been like praying the Sabres would get him, and I know it's never gonna happen. Because we can't have nice things. Eichel's even broken right now. But yeah, no, it's just like it's good to see. I mean, is there? Let's just get back. Is there any? I mean, the Backlund line, like they should absolutely dominate possession. Are they also in play? Like, are both lines back in play again?
Yes, sadly. Absolutely, both lines are in play again. Looking at their power play units in the last game, it seems like that Mark Giordano thing where he played with Monahan and Gaudreau didn't really hold. However, at 5-on-5, Giordano and Hamilton actually primarily played with Monahan and Gaudreau against the Austin Matthews line, which, I have no idea why that happened or when that happened. But, if Backlund for the Kachuk line isn't going out against its top units, I think Nazem Kadri is your number one center. I don't, I simply don't know what coaches are thinking. Nice. Mikko Rantanen, game winner in overtime. That could be cute for me.
That is not what I wanted at all.
Yeah, sorry, Deej. But anyways, so
I barely played. Who cares?
We're kind of fly because that was right in the stone that Backlund against number one lines simply hasn't been the case, and I don't know what to make of it. I do think that the 5-man unit, as I lovingly like to call it, isn't really that much of a thing anymore. So it's interesting observation, I think.
Yeah. Also, the goal is being challenged for offsides. Just to let you know. Wow. So what do you think about Monahan, Gaudreau, Giordano, and Hamilton all as a stack? Is that viable in GPPs, or is that maybe take a step back there?
Given the 5-on-5 nature of it, I don't think it's totally stupid. Yeah, I mean, definitely go for it.
Yeah. All right. Not totally stupid. Perfect. That's all I need.
Not totally stupid.
Not completely the dumbest thing you've ever done. All right, then I'm good. All right, are we ready to move on? Was there anyone? I mean, we mentioned Arizona. Is it just basically yeah? I mean, I don't think I won't really be touching the step-on line because I think we'll be dominated by Backlund, and then I don't know. I mean, Strome got some good minutes. That was 12, but at least he's playing. Dylan Strome. I'm not going to play him, but I mean, he's got to be extremely cheap. How much is he? Where is he a winger? He's a winger. I don't even see him.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
How much is he?
Whatever. He's 2,900.
Oh, it's about 2,900. He's getting power play 2 times. I guess power play 1. Really, he's out there with Ekman Larson unit. So at 2,900, getting power play 1 time. And I listened to the coach's press conference today, and he said that he was going to continue to get solid, decent minutes. And I guess 12 is your decent minute allotment. With Clayton Keller too. I'm saying at 2,900, if you were just jammed in a bind and you were so in love with every player in your lineup and you had 2,900, I'd say he's your guy.
Right.
All right, let's get to this last game. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I like this game.
Please.
I like this game a good amount, honestly, off the cuff. What do you think though? I feel like Austin Matthews versus McDavid. How this game? I can't wait for this game to not be on TV in America. It's gonna be the best part. So what are your thoughts?
Um,
Also,
that
mobile.
McDavid plays a lot. Yeah, I'm watching. Thank you, DJ. Thank
Welcome.
you very much. Whatever.
I'm happy. So you have to be happy too.
I don't care that you're happy. It would have been huge. But anyways,
Cool.
this is that there's some actually. Can you make any sense of this first power play from last game, Deej? I mean,
Wait, from which team?
Hockey Viz has it a little bit messed up. Sorry, for Edmonton.
Oh, Edmonton. The Maroon, Nugent Hopkins, Strome, Clefbaum, McDavid, but then there's like a ton of correlation to Benning and Letestu. Yeah. No, it's just weird. It's not correct. Yes, I have no idea. Unless if they ran a 2-man power play for some reason. It does not make any sense.
Because Draisaitl's not on there. So.
Yeah, maybe they finally realized that he wasn't worth the money. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. No, but yeah, you're right. It's just not right because he like has power play minutes with him.
Guess what? McKinnon scored again.
Wait, who?
Sorry, Deej.
Wait, who scored?
McKinnon from Rantanen.
Come on, Are you kidding me? Like
I'm not. I'm sorry.
All right, I don't care. I don't care. Honestly, hockey's dumb, and I just really needed Laine to do something for me tonight. That's all I needed. I was like, you know what, Laine, I have faith in you. I think you're gonna do it. Like, I think you're a good player, and like the Avs are bad, and like maybe you'll get angry after having a terrible couple games, and just all right.
All right, so top line in this game, DJ. Are you going with a McDavid stack, or are you going with the Toronto stack?
I am gonna bet on McDavid being back with Draisaitl and possibly Lucic, so I think I might consider it. But I am kind of definitely gonna lean towards a Toronto stack, and I don't know which one yet. I always pick the wrong ones. You know what? I'm not gonna pick one. I'm gonna let you pick one because I'll pick the wrong one. I'll say
right,
like.
So
I'm sorry, go on.
I kind of went in on the Van Riemsdyk Marner stack because I was looking into things and like, yeah, they don't play a ton of minutes, but when they're on the ice, their pace is pretty high. So like on a relative like shot taken per game, like it's actually pretty even between them and like the other line. And last game they did, they got that juicy matchup like projected they would, and they didn't play 10 minutes again, but they played power play together. So I'm going to go JVR Marner. Pick on that Edmonton defense, pick on that, non-McDavid players in Edmonton, and really just hope that Marner continues his strong play and finally gets rewarded with, a nice goal or something because he's looked phenomenal the last few games that I've watched them.
I know. Yeah.
And fuck on that, just no points are coming. So I think that will open up pretty soon.
No, I agree. I really like Marner a lot, and I think that he is a guy that has, at least as of late, has been generating a lot of their shot volume, and he's only has 2 goals, 14 assists, so it doesn't really make much sense. So I like Marner. I wish Marner was back with Matthews. I know they had a little bit of time with him because I'd love to stack those two, and I guess, yeah, they're not in the same power play. I don't know. I'm just kind of like really thinking that I'll have some one-offs from this game and not as much stacking, with a chance of getting that McDavid Draisaitl if it does correlate, and just taking those 2 centers and going home.
All right, cool. So let's do top 2 stacks and then 2 guaranteed goals. Obviously, do not have to be related, and get on out of here.
All right, 3-man or 2?
Just 2 stacks. It's a smaller slate.
No, I said 3-man or 2-man.
Oh, I see. Whatever you want. Could be 4, could be 7. I don't care.
Koivu, Granlund, and either Suter or go Nino Niederreiter as like that power play upside.
Nice. All right, took that one from me.
Sorry.
All right, I will go Sagan, Janmark, and maybe a sprinkling of Spezza, but don't love Spezza. So that's gonna be my top line stack.
Yeah, I mean,
what else you got for me?
I mean, Monahan, Gaudreau, Giordano it's there. I definitely like it a lot. I'd like to go with a cheap stack though as well. And now I've I feel like I had something for a cheap stack early on that I mentioned, and I just don't remember. So I'll go with that as my upper price one.
Well,
I mean,
I hope I don't steal this from you,
no,
but
no, take it. It's all yours.
Hunan Gallagher Schlemko, super
Ooh,
cheap, or exposure.
yeah.
I
I'm
dig it.
excited to see. I'm excited to see what Schlumko did tonight. I'm gonna look into that more tomorrow,
We,
guys.
we talked a little bit about it. 16-minute power play time.
Yeah.
We were lagging pretty bad to begin the show. So
No, I feel like I remember. I just want to like look into thing. I mean, we're not gonna have a sample size at all for this year, but I never hated Slumco.
Gotcha.
Okay, so guaranteed goals. Are
Yep,
you ready
let's
for
do it.
those? Okay. Do you have any off the cuff?
I want to guarantee Ovi just because I do think that he is fantastic, but leaves me at a tough spot salary wise, obviously.
Yep. It's a tough one salary wise. That's not what you want to see. Okay, I'll go Marner at 5-1, and then at where would I be? Like what, 6-ish? I can even go to 7 really, but I won't. Pacioretty? Yeah, I'll go Pacioretty and Marner.
Nice. I think
Good
that's
Canadian teams.
sure.
You know they're good. Original 6 teams going out there. All right, I'm all done.
All right, let me go with
Marner playing
I wish
for was he Halifax? I was gonna
no.
start doing more Pierre LeBrun, but I'll let
No,
you. I
he
mean, not
was
LeBrun. Pierre
London
Pierre
Knights.
McGuire. Is his last name McGuire? Like no one ever calls him by his last name.
I thought you were doing Don Cherry, to be honest.
Really? Sure, I'll be Don Cherry. Yeah, actually, you know what? I don't know. I don't do nearly as good of imitations as the Puck Suit Boys. All right.
For sure.
What do you got for me?
All right. I wish Dylan Strome were a center because I think he'd be more valuable, but 2.9 for a guy who's playing first power and obviously is pretty talented. I'm gonna go with Ovi and Ryan Strome. Or sorry, not Ryan. God, Dylan Strome. Dylan Strome. All right,
Are you sure?
Dylan. Yes.
Is that your
Dylan.
final answer?
Yes.
All right. Then good. I think we can move on.
Matthew Strome.
All right. You think he's ready this year to jump into the NHL? Undrafted? The first ever undrafted player? Okay. But yeah, let's shut it down.
Undrafted Calder winner.
Yes. It's up in the air.
Yes. Let's do that. So be sure to check us out on Twitter at OneSkePod. And join our group me if you want. DM us, and we will tell you how to do that. Thank you for listening. Good luck, everybody, from DJ, from Doug, and from myself, obviously. And we will see ya.